Okay, here's a question about dividing algebraic fractions. And here's an example that I've got on there. The key point to dividing algebra fractions is that we follow the same rules when working with any fractions. And you remember, if you're dealing with numeric fractions, if you had, say, something like 3/4 divided by 1/2, the first thing you do is that you change your divided by to a times. And so you go 3/4 times, and then you flip your second fraction. Okay, so what we're going to do now is do the same thing. So if we flip that second fraction, we end up with 2/1. Okay, so that's what you do when you're dividing fractions, is you leave the same fraction as it is, you change the divided by to a times, and then you flip the second fraction, you do its reciprocal. And then what you then do is you times across the top and times across the bottom. So 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 1 is 4, and then you simplify that fraction. So we're going to do the same with the algebraic fraction. So here we've got mn squared over 5p squared divided by m squared n squared over 10p squared. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll write out the first fraction, mn squared over 5p squared, and then we're going to go times. So we're going to change the divided by to times. And then we're going to flip the second fraction, so that 10p squared is now on top, and m squared n squared is now on the bottom. Now we're going to multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. So if we multiply mn squared times 10p squared, we end up with 10 m n squared p squared. So we're basically just joining those together because none of them are common terms. And then on the bottom, we're going to go, well, 5 is the only number there, and then m squared, we'll do it in alphabetical order, n squared, p squared. Now we have to simplify. We have to simplify each of those terms in this fraction. So first of all, we're going to deal with the numbers, then we're going to deal with the m's, then the n's, and then the p's. So, first of all, if I put a box around the 10/5, and we're going to put our answer up to here, what's 10 divided by 5? What's that simplified as a fraction? Well, that's 2/1, isn't it? 10/5 is the same as 2/1. Then, if we deal with m and m squared. So, we've got, that's the same as m to the 1. So which is greatest, the m squared or the m1? Well, the m squared is. And if we go 2 minus 1, we're left with 1. So m on the bottom of the fraction. Okay? N squared, they cancel out. They're both the same. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we don't have any n's. And it's the same with the p's. Okay? P squared divided by p squared is nothing. So your answer, therefore, is 2/1m. Or, if we want to shorten it, 2/m, because we don't need the 1. And that would be your answer.